It's my new GoPro. It's the Hero 7 Blackout Edition. I've had the chance to take this thing on a few skydives, so here is my semi-amateur skydiver and amateur videographer review of the GoPro Hero 7 Black. So first off, I haven't tested all of the video modes, but right off the bat, I'm super impressed with the video quality. 4K 60 is a big selling factor for me. And this thing has rapidly become like my favorite camera that I own. It's just such a capable camera in such a little package. It's waterproof down to 30 feet as is. The audio is actually pretty decent. Here in my backyard, shooting on the new GoPro. Gonna scoop on there. I haven't found a reason to upgrade from the Hero 4 Black because the 5 and the 6, I just don't like the stabilization. It gets real warpy, especially in skydives, okay? What I noticed during other people's jumps and other people's jump videos was that the earth part gets real warpy and weird with the in-camera stabilization. I didn't really like that. The Hero 7 Black totally solved that problem, and I gotta say the stabilization is so good. I really enjoy the hyperlapse feature. They call it TimeWarp. It's a hyperlapse. Actually, I saw a YouTube video that said shooting at 30x speed is the most stable. So I haven't played around with any of the other modes. I've only shot a couple of hyperlapses with it, but I'm super impressed with that. I think I'm gonna be using this quite a bit in the vlogs to come. So I shot this one hyperlapse of just walking through the drop zone while the boogie was happening. You guys saw that in the boogie video. And I shot another hyperlapse. I had the chance to sit up front in the Otter while we were flying at altitude. And so I just held it on the stick and filmed a hyperlapse there. Obviously the mount would have been way better footage. You see the plane bouncing less, but I'm super happy with that footage. I think it turned out really well. As far as the skydive settings that I've been using, okay, I've been shooting at 4K, 60 frames per second with stabilization on. I gotta say that the 4K 60 is boss on this thing. If you're shooting action sequences like sports, especially skydiving anyways, you should be shooting at 60 frames per second because it kind of smooths the action out and it looks less jittery. Plus the ability to do slow-mo on those exits and those sequences when you get close is priceless to me. I've been using the same settings on the Hero 7 Black for Pro Tune that I did on the Hero 4. So Pro Tune on, color flat, sharpness medium so I don't have to do much in post. Exposure value compensation -1. That seems to be the sweet spot for it. But the dynamic range on this thing is so much better than the Hero 4. And the colors come out a lot more natural. My white balance is set on auto, so I don't have to mess with going indoors, going outdoor. I don't have to mess with it. And I think that it's got a lot more color accuracy than the Hero 4 Black, which came out really yellow and really tone deaf, really lacking tone. In the Pro Tune footage, you needed to do a lot with that in post. I'm finding myself just doing a little exposure correction and a little bit of contrast adjustment and colors for looks, and yeah, I mean, it's pretty good right out of the box. Let's talk the stabilization, because that's a feature that I like sometimes, but I think generally for skydiving is not the best. Here's the thing with stabilization, okay, is if the GoPro has a subject, the skydiver, in the frame, it does super well at the stabilization. However, if you're moving a lot and you're flying real dynamically, or you happen to look away from the subject and there's no skydiver in the frame, it doesn't really know what to do. The landscape will like hover and then kind of snap back and hover and then kind of, so it doesn't feel really accurate, like it's transmitting what you experience during the jump. So the last jump I did, I turned the stabilization off. I think that I like that better because it leaves me more flexibility in post-production. If I want to stabilize things using Final Cut, I can stabilize it. If I want it to be a little more like it's intense. I think the cinema verite, you know, when you're flying and you're like, it's kind of shaky, I think that works out better with skydiving. Also, if you saw the new Mission Impossible, really cool skydiving stunt they did there, you know, Tom Cruise was actually jumping. And you'll notice that, I mean, dude was shooting with a red camera on top of his head, but there's no stabilization on. So it's like you're there in the action and kind of intense. So I think I'm gonna leave the stabilization off. However, when we're just vlogging with the camera, I'll leave the stabilization on. I think it's perfect for stuff like this, or when you're just wandering around the car or a theme park or something like that. Absolutely keep the stabilization on. Going grocery shopping, buddy. At the fresh market. It smells like fast food out here. Ugh. Like you're inhaling the grease. Inhaling the grease. The one thing I will say is if you're shooting the hyperlapse, or you're shooting at 120 frames per second, this thing warms up quite a bit. So I noticed by shooting the hyperlapse in the airplane, it was about 10 minutes of footage of flying. And this thing was blazing hot. I mean, it was out in the sun and it's black for some reason. Not the best for heat transmission. But overall, I gotta say, this is probably my favorite camera that I own right now. In fact, I've been vlogging on it, okay? It comes with this little plastic case, which is, honestly, it's way slimmer than the other cases. You used to have to put it in like the waterproof housing, and then it was really prone to fogging up. So they went back with the old style snap on the top. And this thing is real slim. I like how slim it is. You know that as a skydiver that a camera is introducing a snag hazard. So you want something that's as low profile as possible. I think this thing satisfies it. This over here, I mean, they make roller mounts that I know people get, and that it leaves like a flat mount on there. But then you need to permanently have this on your helmet. But honestly, like this could be a good vlog setup. The sound is pretty good. You got the screen on the back so you can frame your shots. You can shoot your time lapses, you can shoot your hyper lapses. The nighttime footage is not bad. It's definitely, it's not like a high-end camera with a fast lens like this. But overall, I think this is probably the best camera in my arsenal right now. My most watched videos were all shot on GoPro, honestly. If you guys haven't picked one up, you've been looking to upgrade your GoPro, but you don't know what to do, I suggest getting this bad boy. And if you happen to click one of those affiliate links in the description, I wouldn't be so upset. It helps support the channel. And if you're gonna buy one anyways, you know, throw a few bucks my way. Buy me a beer, come on. We need that diaper money, I'm telling you. What do you think, buddy? It's a GoPro. Or, in my case, it's a Go semi-amateur. Get it? Because I'm not a pro. Sassy lady. One of the things that I want to try out that I haven't tested yet is the 2.7K 120 frames per second. Now I used to shoot on the Hero 4 Black at 2.7, 60 frames per second. That was about as high as it went. I think that if I'm trying to get a nice exit shot, or if we're gonna do like a canopy deployment slow-mo, I think that 120 is gonna be buttery smooth. It's gonna be sick. So I'm really excited to try that out. It has been windy and rainy and yucky lately, so we haven't been able to get a jump in a couple weeks. I'm okay with that, you know. I'm not trying to progress super fast in this sport. I jump when I can and when I can afford it. My main focus is raising my boy. That dude is so much fun. I definitely recommend having a little boy who's awesome if you're up for it. That is my amateur review of the GoPro Hero 7 Black. Hopefully that helps you guys decide whether you're gonna get one or not. If not, dude, the Hero 4 Black is available for $100 on eBay, and it's a killer camera. We still have one. We still shoot with that as the second skydiving camera. Ideally, we would upgrade and have two of these, but we don't have that kind of money. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing, liking, commenting, and generally being a cool community on YouTube on this channel. Love getting messages from you guys, meeting y'all at the boogies, getting jumps in with you. I'm no pro, man, you know, like we're all sitting around 300 jumps, so we're pretty new to the sport, but I appreciate meeting everyone through this incredible platform of YouTube and online video and of skydiving. It's been a ton of fun. I hope to see you guys in the sky sometime soon.